Aren't you glad it's not January 1st? I am. You know why? Because I get so sick and tired of people saying, come January, I'm going to join a gym. Come January, I'm going to go on a diet. I call diet a 4-letter word. I don't like it, and that's why today on Ultra Life Today, we've got our great friend, clinical nutritionist Kyle Drew, radio host extraordinaire, TV host extraordinaire. I'm Josh Bellew.
Adam Payne.
And this is Kyle Drew.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Do you hate the word diet as much as I do? And I hate it for
the first 3 letters
reasons.
are die.
Well, I love that. But I hate it for different reasons this month because I feel like it's a setup for failure. So I'm glad it's February and we're talking about diets. You've got 7 diet upgrades for beginners, novices.
And by diet, I don't mean I'm going on a diet now. I just mean your normal way of eating. This is something...
So changing it up a little bit.
For all the reasons that you don't like it, the word diet. I just want to make sure that folks are saying it's not this particular diet or that, when we could talk about that on another show.
Yeah.
But upgrading your standard American diet for beginners. The very first thing I pretty much say with every show I ever do, the first upgrade that you can make is consistency.
We've heard that word before.
I'm just going to keep saying it.
I thought you were going to say hydration.
Consistency. You got to have consistency because, again, I don't care what you do for a month. I do not care. I do not care that I ate a healthy salad today. Well, that's one day. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm saying we need to get serious about what works and what doesn't. Everybody wants to be flawless. Everybody wants to be perfect, and they can do it for one day, and then the habits snap back. I want you to take this slowly, and I have a tip in just a minute to help you take it slowly so that you can learn consistency. Again, the first goal is not to lose weight. The first goal is not to have energy. The first goal is not to sleep better. The first goal is to learn consistency. This is what is missing. I'm telling you, the difference between those who are successful in their eating habits and their health habits, the difference between those who are successful and those who are not successful is chemistry. Every single person who can get this down will have a brand new superpower. I knocked my headset off. I'm so excited about this.
The first one, I love it.
This first one is consistency, but let's go more substantive. The second diet upgrade that I would recommend is what I call sweeten your own coffee.
I've wondered what that was going to mean.
Sweeten your own coffee. Who has a sweet tooth? I mean, come on. We're in America. Those of us who live here, we're all dealing with the sweet tooth. I'm not completely
there, but yes.
This is one of those things that we need to recognize. Okay, so we go to the coffee shop and we order the Mocha Laka, fruity, Shaba, whatever thing.
38 fat grams and 1,000 calories.
68 sugar grams. And I am asking you to begin to think about sweeteners now. Just the sweeteners that you use.
This is so good.
I want you to think about your own coffee. Just take the sugar out or the whatever that has corn syrup in it and just replace it with stevia. Stevia, erythritol, monk fruit, something that's real, something that is natural, but something that is not sugar. If we can just learn to sweeten our own coffee, metaphorically speaking, and we do that with the yogurt, that we get a plain yogurt, we put some stevia in it, we add some berries, and we just sweeten it ourselves. We don't leave it up to the manufacturer to do it for us. If we do this, it changes things.
My wife, she's a PA, and one of the first things she recommends for people that are struggling with weight is just switch out those sweetened carbonated beverages for something different. Just, 1 cup of soda is like 16 teaspoons of sugar is in that 1 cup of soda. just taking that out changes your metabolic profile.
You know, there's some
dramatically.
flavored stevias now
Nice.
where you get like a Topo Chico sparkling water.
Oh, yes.
And then you
Yeah.
add a few drops of the raspberry or whatever that's sweetened with stevia.
Essence.
And it's fantastic. So that's, were you going to say?
I gotta ask the
wanna
question,
throw-
though,
I want to
here.
throw out a trick that I learned for me as it relates to sweet tooth, and you help me understand maybe from a metabolic way if this works for other people too. This is just a Josh Bellew thing I learned a long time ago. If I take a small bite of something that has a natural sugar in it, it could be a bite of an apple. It could just be a slice of an apple, and I'll eat that. If I wait 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, I don't want that pint of Haagen-Dazs.
Really?
But if I crack the pint of Haagen-Dazs
good idea.
and take the first bite, the pint's going to be gone.
My gosh, I've
It
never
really
had
is.
that work
And
for me.
so-
That's
so-
amazing.
So the
So what do
sugar
you-
thing satiates for me over a really brief period of time.
That's
So,
within
so
about
hold
8
on,
to
hold
10
on.
minutes.
So what are you doing? Just waiting 10 minutes, or
Yeah,
what-
exactly. Yeah. Instead of diving into a dessert, I take something natural that's sweet, and I do not crave the sweet after about 8 to 10
No
minutes. Just
kidding.
a little bit.
That is a cool trick.
I'm gonna have to try
So
that.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
throwing
Yeah.
that out for people
I
to
don't
try because it's
I
just
like
a Josh
it.
Bellew thing.
I got to ask the question though.
Yeah.
What about saccharin and NutraSweet and those other sweeteners?
I
mean,
don't like them. I could get. I think that we could do a whole show on that.
Oh, we could.
Look. I'm a natural health guy.
I get it.
I
get
am
it.
not going to go saccharin. I'm not going to go new. I want natural if I can get it. Low glycemic. No sugar whatsoever if possible. Stevia fits the bill. Erythritol fits the bill. Monk fruit fits the bill, and there are others. But and the thing about it is, you're going to have to learn your proportions. I know that if I go to the coffee shop and I carry my stevia with me, I'm a dork and I carry my liquid stevia. But I know you and I
just
went to
drop
get
it in
coffee
there?
the other day, and I know how many drops works for me. You have to learn how to do it, but once you do, things begin to change. Now I have to get to the second upgrade, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
let's keep going.
The
Or
7 diet upgrades for beginners. The sweeten your own coffee is the second one. I would like to see you just upgrade your condiments. You, in another show, were talking about how easy certain that you like to begin with easy, like hydration.
Right.
I think that condiment upgrades might be one of the most painless ways to upgrade your diet. I want you to write down the name of this condiments company. And I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
biased
yeah,
because
I
it's
love 'em.
because it's my friend, my buddy Mark Sisson. He created Primal Kitchen, and Primal Kitchen is lovely for those of us who are natural health oriented. We don't want the corn syrups. We don't want all of the crazy. This is a brand. Now, there are other brands. You go to any of the health food stores around, there's going to be other brands. But I look, I'm a Sisson guy. I've known him for 20
Best
years.
mayo on the shelf, man.
Really?
I think his mayo is outstanding. But if you just see, the thing about it is that you don't even think about, putting mayonnaise on the whatever or ketchup or the mustard or whatever, the sauces, but the corn syrup and the junk and the preservative, all of the stuff that's
the
in that,
preservatives, yeah.
it is abysmal. The seed oils, this is why if you can just switch out this brand for this brand, you still have your mayonnaise, you still have your ketchup, you still have your sauces, your barbecue sauce, and even your salad dressings, but you're just doing it in an upgraded way. It's so simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, and we love simple, and we love making it painless.
So I'm looking for the reason why, Kyle. I mean, when I'm doing my condiments, I'm doing like some mustard or some mayo. What's the difference between Hellman's and your variety?
I'm
Is it
not
real-
naming names.
Okay. You're definitely taking names here.
What I should have done.
What happens, Adam?
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean,
in
why-
the mayo world, I dare you to find anything on the shelf that doesn't have seed oils as the basis for
Okay,
it.
so we're talking about the quality of the ingredients going in here because there are some bad actors there, what you're saying.
And lots of chemicals in a variety of these things and preservatives.
You know what was
bad.
funny is my son began watching videos on different oils and be leery of these kinds of oils. And so he wanted to go to the grocery store and let's look at different condiments like mayonnaise. And so you go to the grocery store, your conventional grocery store, and it'll say mayonnaise with olive oil.
Yep.
All right. So you turn it
Liar.
over. You turn it over and you read the ingredients. And it is safflower oil. It is
Canola oil.
Canola oil. It is all of the
Rapeseed oil.
right. Soy. And then you go past the corn syrup and the high fructose corn syrup, and you go through all of this. And at the very, very end, there's a little bit of olive oil.
They put a drop in
And
that.
they put olive oil on the front like that's the main thing, that they're replacing all the other oils. Not true. You have to read the ingredients. And so these are the reasons that you need to upgrade your condiments. And I think that it's an easy thing to do. Let's real quickly.
So
hit
are you
number
bringing
4.
your condiments with you when you go out to eat?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But I think that
bringing them into your home and into your environment. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Simple,
Okay.
simple,
All right.
simple.
All right.
in the little time that we have left in this segment, I will get to number 4. And we talked about it. And again, I love what Josh said on another show. You were talking about how can we do this the most easy way possible? What's the easiest, quickest, whatever? Number 4, to upgrade your diet if you're a beginner, is to hydrate with water alone. Hydrate with water alone. Now, a lot of you who are beginners, yeah, it's okay. You begin. Well, I drink the.
I'm putting myself in that boot camp.
Well, I drink the coffee and I drink the soda and I'm drinking things all day long. And then I went to the coffee shop and I got the mocha, whatever.
Yummy.
And so these are hydrating, right? Well, actually,
Not
a lot
really.
of them are
Diuretics.
dehydrating. Yeah, they're diuretics, Josh. And listen, I know that this is a big ask. I need you to get used to water. I need you to get used to the flavor of just water. And if we can get used to just water, or maybe with a little lemon juice in it, something simple, maybe even some powdered electrolytes, if you need a little bit of flavor. But we are so flavor oriented. Everything has to have flavor. Here's flavored this and flavor. If we can just get back to the basics of water. I know that so many of you go, well, I hate water. I know. I get it. I love it, but I'm used to it. And if you're not used to it, you need to probably start with one of these sugar-free electrolyte powders. Ultima, I think, is one. There's others. But if you can start with something like that, add a little pink Himalayan sea salt or Celtic sea salt. Just do that in the water. And here is what. Now, listen, I've got all kinds of stuff in this water.
Yep.
I've got fulvic acid, minerals. I've got magnesium. I've got ginger. But I drink several of these per day, and every one of them has something a little bit different, but it includes a few of these with just water alone and some minerals. Let's get back to hydrating with water alone and not assume that sodas and coffee and tea and the mocha whatever at the coffee shop and the icy and all of those things, that does not take the place of water. You need to get water. I would do 32 ounces minimum every day and maybe 64. Shoot for the moon.
Start
but in the
doing
beginning,
that, you'll want more.
I agree.
You really will.
I agree.
Yeah, you've been hanging out with Adam Payne and Kyle Drew, clinical nutritionist. We've been talking about 7 diet upgrades for beginners. This is Ultra Life Today.
Our mission is to take nature's most beloved botanicals and enhance them with our liquid protein scaffold technology. This helps it reach your cells faster and better. With exponentially enhanced bioavailability, you'll feel better every day. Ultra Botanica, the feel-good curcumin.
We talked about diet upgrades for beginners, and we're continuing that journey with our good friend, clinical nutritionist Kyle Drew, hanging out with this guy.
Adam Payne here.
I'm Josh Bellew, and Kyle, thanks for making this simple and giving us bite-sized nuggets that people can just go, I can do that. I can do that one thing. I can actually do that.
Yeah.
And consistency. I want to keep throwing that C word out.
Boy,
consistency.
Yes.
Paul the Apostle said, I'm a long distance runner. I'm not a sprinter, and I love that mentality. It's like, I will get there if I just keep doing the little that I need to do.
Gosh, that's the
each
truth.
moment as it unfolds, right?
It's the truth, Josh.
Okay.
And that's what we want to do, is break these down into small bite-sized pieces. We are on number 5, and I just need to tell you this.
Dude.
I was working for a place here in Oklahoma called the Oklahoma Blood Institute. Really? Way back when I was in college. And at one point, I was asked to, I'm in Oklahoma City. I was asked to move to Tulsa for about 9 months and open up a new sub-center up there. And let me tell you guys, all day, every day, I am just eating whatever, and I get fat. I am just fat. And I'm wearing scrubs every day at OBI, and I don't realize that I am just getting chunky.
Wow.
And so I realized I need to get on top of this. Something happened that kind of inadvertently became a philosophy I believed in and have really transmitted to everybody, and it's super simple. When I was working at OBI in Tulsa, while I was at work, I had to eat what everybody else was eating. There was and it was always junk. It was the pizza buffet. It's whatever. And then dinner, I would take people out, and it was the same kind of thing. And I began saying, you know what? I am going to have one flawless meal per day.
You need to copyright that and write that book. That is such a cool phrase.
Well, here's the problem.
It's such a cool phrase.
Well, thanks. But the problem is the book would have one sentence.
Right.
You need no more explanation.
It would be a lot of artwork in it.
One flawless meal per day, you guys.
Lots of pictures.
If
I don't-
shut up.
What does that mean, flawless meal? What does it mean?
Here's what it means, brother. I'm messing. Can you tell that we're friends? Jeez, this is the way it is with us. I am just going to thump everybody on the head whenever they. No, here's
I'm feeling
what.
some real emotion.
No,
It's
it
so
is.
much worse than this when the
Oh my
cameras are
gosh! Tell me about it. This is ridiculous. But this is the funny part. When I say flawless, all right. That really does leave a lot open to interpretation for a
Not
lot of
really.
people.
I mean,
All right?
flawless.
What do you think?
Flawless is perfect. I mean, it has to be like right on spec. That means no flaws. So, what is a flawless meal to you?
Well, here's what.
I don't. You're not going to ask me my definition.
Oh,
come
well,
on.
it was.
Go ahead, brother.
Here's the thing. Let's not be super, super strict with the definition of flawless, okay? I think you know that Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops ain't it. I think that if we can
Happy Meal, probably not a good idea.
I think that's... this is... Everybody knows what the standard American diet is.
Right.
The sad diet,
think... Right. And I think that we all know that when we're doing that kind of diet, it ain't flawless. Now, whenever we can upgrade to, let's say, a berry smoothie, how about some coconut milk, some whey protein, some blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, blend that bad boy up.
Yes.
Now you've got what is able to be called a flawless meal.
Throw in that whey protein too.
Yeah,
Why
that's what I
not?
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the whey protein. And so the flawlessness of that means that you've got your protein. You've got really nutritious berries. You aren't going to be bloated with high blood sugar and everything else. And you're not drinking soda, and you might do that the other two meals.
Right.
You might but I think that what happens is that people start by wanting to be flawless with every single meal and every single thing they put in their mouth. And I understand that. But remember consistency. See, consistency sometimes means that we start small and we grow from there. And so I would like, for the sake of consistency, for you to just commit to one relatively flawless meal per day. I think that you can guess what flawless is. How about some chicken and some broccoli? Yeah, that's flawless. How about a big salad with chicken strips on top? Yeah, that sounds flawless to me.
A can of
something
tuna
good. If
water.
you can just get to something that we all know is the better for you stuff and away from the standard American stuff, which we don't need to labor long over that definition of what is junk. We all know what it is.
Right.
We know that the soda is not on the diet.
Yeah.
And so if we can get to that point, Josh, then we start to build some momentum. Day after day, I know I have one flawless meal a day. And do you know what happened to me when I was working at OBI?
I know what you're gonna say.
I needed to have two a day.
One good thing leads to another.
It just did.
It does.
It took a few weeks, but one day I was like, well, this is so easy.
Yeah.
I can do another one.
Yeah.
And so now, instead of eating one flawless meal per day, then I switched it to where I had two of them a day.
Amazing.
And so the majority of what I'm eating in a day is working.
And
it's working.
Your mind works differently.
Oh.
You feel different. You don't have that afternoon low where you're like, where's the coffee? Where's the coffee?
It's
right?
just
Isn't it amazing?
I know,
Doesn't our
John.
body respond so quickly when we start to give it the right things?
I agree.
It's not slow. It's quick.
Oh, I
People
agree.
notice fast.
I love it. So I want you to, if you, look, this is an upgrade. If it's something that you're not used to, I don't want you to swing for the fences first. I want you to get one flawless meal in a day.
Right
now,
on.
the next one, we're up to number 6 out of the 7. Number 6, okay. As real as possible and as whole as possible. As real food as possible and as whole food as possible. Now, what does that mean? If I can't believe that we are living in an era where we don't know what whole food is because it's the only thing that existed before
right.
50 years ago.
Yep.
Or actually longer than that. But we live, you guys. I wish I had brought the statistic. But Americans, at least, live on processed food. We subsist on
said
processed
the P word.
food.
You said the P word.
Yeah, and that is the problem. I am guilty. I have been trying, Josh, to go a full day and only eat real food and whole food. Now, here's what that would look like. You go to the grocery store and there is an egg. You go to the grocery store and there is meat. There are vegetables, whole vegetables. There are berries. There are whole fruits. I'm not going into the aisles where they've all scrambled that, processed them together, turned it into a potato chip that has broccoli in it. Or, that is the processed food that we are living on. We are subsisting on this, at least in America. And I thought, you know what? This is going to be easy. I'm just going to try to eat whole, real food for a full day.
What was day one like?
It was easy until I got out on the road, and then out of habit, I ate a protein bar.
Right.
And then I had one of these good for you, like health food store level flax crackers that have, spinach weaved into them and stuff.
And how many bags did you want? No, I'm just kidding.
You are not kidding. You know me well. And that's
I wasn't trying to.
No, but
I wasn't
it's
trying
true.
to out you.
I'm outing myself. It is hard for me to just stop with a little bit because
hard
look,
for all of
my
us.
job for years has been sort of on the road in my truck around the state of Oklahoma and adjacent states. And I don't know about you, but whenever I'm driving around, I just start wanting to munch on things.
Yep.
And so whole is a little bit difficult in that kind of setting. Well, one day it was Saturday and I thought I'm going to eat whole. I'm just going to eat whole, real food. And so I had my eggs and I had a breakfast meat that I fried up fresh. And then and again, without even thinking about it, I was reaching for some kind. They make these chicken chips. And I went, I'm a little bit hungry. And so, dipping it in the hot sauce. And then I went, dadgummit, I did it again. But do you know that as I was doing it, I realized if this industry, this is what I love, the natural health world. And I'm sitting there going, do I really love it? Because I don't think I've ever done this.
Right.
I mean, in my entire life, I don't think that I've spent certainly a week eating whole food.
So we've talked about people integrating things slowly, like if you drink 1 glass of water with a meal, do that for a week. Guess what? Then you can add another glass at a different meal. And now you're doing 2 glasses of water a day. You can move up like that. Kyle talked about one meal that is basically as real and as whole as possible. Here's an idea, again, in reverse. Instead of going through the drive-through 5 times a week, just go through 4 times a week for the next month. And then after that, go through 3 times a week. And you're achieving these goals. I did it. I didn't go through the drive-through today. It's going to change your life, and it's just little bite-sized nuggets that you can do. Kyle, you've got another one that really, to me, amplifies your last point.
I think it may, and this is going to be the controversial one. I said as whole as possible and as real as possible. Number 7.
Now you're going to meddling.
We'll see. As pristine as possible. And here's what I mean. It's the organic versus conventional grown. That's the conversation right now. Here is what really altered my opinion about this topic. Yes, we all want organic, blah, blah, blah. We get it. But I was working for Doug Kaufman on the TV show Know the Cause, and I was able to just kind of live this lifestyle as part of my job. And so it's great and it's easy, and I can be idealistic because I'm around all of this stuff all day long, and people bring supplements so I don't have to buy them. And, it was just really not the real world. And then I was going to go see a mutual friend of ours, and he has 6 kids. And he's the only one working. His wife is not working outside the home. She is working hard inside the home with the kids and with the household. But the husband is the only one bringing in an income. And they have 8 mouths to feed. And I go up to him and I say, the only way to get healthy is with organic.
And he laughs in your face.
How
they can't afford
lost? Oh, how lost was I that I got to tell you, I'm confessing my own sin that for years and years and years on the TV show, I just downright was kind of nasty about conventional food.
I was a snob for years too.
And I would say, listen, if you're not going to be serious, I would say stuff like, well, you can't afford not to eat organic. Well, what a fool I am. I mean, what a real jerk. Because not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford this. And so, I can't afford it. So now I can't get healthy. Well, thanks a lot. This is where the natural health industry, frankly, is a bunch of jerks. And I'm done with that. I want you to eat as pristine as possible, but not more than possible. I don't want you to go into debt to be. Now, there's a lot to be said about why is America's food as junky as it is. Good question, different story. We're not going to solve it today, but I want you to eat as pristine as possible. And if that means that you go to Walmart and you buy regular beef because that's all you can afford, then do it. You go to Walmart and you buy a regular conventional apple because that's what you can afford. Good. You're doing it. You're on the path.
Right on.
You can do this.
So that's
and I'm tired of judging people about this.
So let's not mix up a whole food with organic food. We can still eat whole foods.
Thank you.
But not necessarily have to just eat the flawless organic foods.
Exactly. That's
All
it.
right.
And thank you
Okay.
for clearing that up
Well,
because I wasn't real clear on that. Thank you, Adam.
But if you can, I mean, there are definite advantages to
No doubt.
the nutritional value of the organic foods.
Yeah, and
But
the-
all is not lost if you can't afford to eat
understood.
that way.
Thank
That's
you
right.
for that.
And the price of that has come down in a lot of categories, so you can be selective about what
Yeah.
you get in certain stores organic.
Well, this has been exciting. I've learned a whole bunch here in this.
Yeah,
this
we've
segment.
had 7 diet upgrades for beginners. You'll probably want to go back and listen again because there's nuggets in what Kyle Drew has been telling us. Clinical nutritionists hanging out with Adam Payne. I'm Josh Bellew. This is Ultra Life Today.